Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of Same Beyond and Through with Monty. A couple of days ago, I brought you a video about these black men seemingly just ecstatic that these white women wanted them, found them desirable, found them attractive. And it seems to me that these black men were just over the moon about this thought of having a white female and about white females preferring them above all others. As I broke that down, I showed that it was not true, that basically it was a figment of the black man's imagination. Now, in this particular video, I want to expand on this particular topic, but in a different direction. Because someone brought it to my attention, and I was always aware of this also, that is this some type of manipulation that is going on? Is this some type of interference that is going on? Is this some type of promotion of black male, white female unions? Or we can say of interracial unions in particular. Is there some type of hidden agenda which is going on that is promoting these relationships forward? My answer to that is unequivocally yes. And I'm going to show you the reasoning behind it. And it's going to be a little more sinister than what you may think, because I find it strange that the United States of America, which has been guilty of breaking up black male and black female unions since slavery, selling families off, dividing families, lynching men, redlining in codes of that particular nature, mass incarceration, the welfare state where the father had to get out of the home. With the history of an assault on black families like that, you would think that the United States of America would want to promote black on black love. However, that is anything but the case. It seems like they are very antagonistic of these unions moving forward and these unions being promoted. And even of these unions even happening, it seems like they're going out of their way to push another agenda. It seems like they're going out of their way to push this interracial agenda. And when you start to promote and push an agenda like this here, it is very much an agenda. There's something behind it. There has to be a reasoning as to why this is happening here in America. And I'm going to get into that as to why it seems like they are pushing and promoting for black men to look at this white woman on a pedestal and basically to elevate her above all others. But what we're going to have to do is look at popular culture. And one thing we must keep in mind is that, with sites like the Shade Room, On Site, black people tend to pay attention to celebrity culture more than others. So when you see relationships like Kanye West and Kim Kardashian, you can best believe that black people are paying attention to this. And to some degree, it is desensitizing people to what used to be a very inflammatory, I would say, response to these unions. What I mean by that, these women used to get involved in these unions, these non-black women. What were they called? They were called in-lovers, right? Inflammatory words. They were disowned by family. They were shunned by society. Now you don't see that in this age. No, you see anything but that. You can see women like Kim Kardashian promoting her children and becoming billionaires. You see her to some degree being some type of heroine, or maybe not that to that degree, but for someone to be looked up to and admired in this society. Whereas just 20 short years ago, this would have been frowned upon. It would have been looked down upon. And some parts in the United States in the 60s, this would never have been allowed. So we have to look at What is pushing this? What is promoting this? And why is it being so accepted? Now, Kim Kardashian has children with Kanye West, and obviously they're biracial children. And this type of a union that produced these type of children would never have been elevated in the 70s like it is today. I'm not saying today it should be looked down upon, but I do want to get behind the reasoning as to why it's so applauded and to why it's so, people are wanting to emulate this particular unions and reproduce these type of children. So here's Kim Kardashian with one of her biracial children. And we have to look at as to why society has championed these unions and these types of children. Now here goes a white American family. Obviously, it looks like in the 1950s, when whites were the majority in America, when they were like 99% of the population in America. But what's going on today? And why has this shifted? And has it shifted? Well, the answer to that is a big yes. The U.S. white majority will soon disappear forever. Isn't that dramatic right there? They will disappear forever. Why white Americans are dying faster than they are being born. By the way, in Europe, it is calculated that white Europeans will be the minority in 2050. Within 30 years, the white European population will be the minority. There will be no white majority in Europe nor in the United States of America. This is how the white population is actually changing based on new census data. So today, 2020, the white U.S. population stands at 57% of the U.S. population, whereas 10 years ago, it was 63%, whereas 20 years ago, it would have been 70, whereas 30 years ago, it would have been 80. We can clearly see that by those numbers, they are very much declining. Most Americans say the declining share of the white people in the U.S. is neither good nor bad for society. To be honest with you, I don't think that most Americans are really thinking about it. I don't think that most Americans are really aware of it. I think that people are more concerned with putting food on their table, about their jobs, about how America and the world seems to be in distress at the moment. However, we do have elites who are thinking about this, who are seeing this, who are pulling strings. Let's look at this. White deaths exceed births in the a majority of U.S. states. Do you see that? They're dying faster than they are being born. Whereas minorities is just the opposite. Or should I say people of color? It's the turnaround. Now I want to bring something to you. This is Tia and Tamara Mowry. You know the twins from Sister Sister? We know that Tia Mowry married a black man, an actor named Corey Hardwick. And with this union of Corey Hardwick, she produced two children, two black children with Corey Hardwick. So basically, she's adding to the black population. And by the way, this is her family. And many people may be unaware that she has an older brother named Trevor, to the far right, who is married to a black female. I believe there's 4 Mowry siblings. Here they go again, the family. There's her older brother Trevor with his black wife to the left there. And we know that she has a sister named Tamara Mowry. Tamara Mowry is married to a white man. Is it Adam Huxley? And with this union here, they produced 2 children. Now look at her children. Do you see black children? I don't. I don't see black children from this particular union. Look at them very good. And I'm posting them because they posted them. They posted them on the internet for all the world to see. So therefore, they're fair game. but not never in a derogatory way. You never go after children. This is not about belittling or downing anyone. It's just bringing you to speed and just to enlighten you as to what is going on. Now, here she is with her children again. As we can clearly see, these children that she reproduced, her being biracial with a white man, is farther away from black. They are more into the white category. So could we be dealing with something that's calculated and planned? Here's Ashley Simpson, the younger sister of Jessica Simpson, with her first husband. By the way, he's biracial. Don't let the hair fool you. He got it conked, or what do you call bumped, or permed, or whatever to straighten it out. His mother's a black woman. He's biracial. That's her first husband. Is it Pete White, someone to say? And here's Ashley Simpson with her second husband, Evan Ross, the son of Diana Ross, who happens to be biracial. Out of this union right here, out of her two unions, I should say, with Pete White's son at the bottom, Evan Ross's daughter at the top, she created these majority white children. And these majority white children are adding to the white race, a white race that is rapidly becoming the minority, are being aided and abetted by biracials, by black people who are reproducing with white, who are in turn, these children reproducing with more white. They're adding to the numbers of the white race. This is a tactic by any means necessary. We're going to preserve our race. What used to be frowned upon back in the old days, or let's say 20 to 30 years ago, we're going to elevate this and promote this because it adds to our numbers. Now we can clearly see as to what is the agenda behind all of this interracial stuff, as to why it's being heavily promoted and why it's not being looked down upon like it once was. Notice that when it was looked down upon 20 to 30 years ago, the white population had the numbers. Now, since they are declining, this is elevated and promoted because this is adding to their numbers. Because the vast majority of these children who are black and white will reproduce with other white people, who will in turn reproduce with other white people, in turn adding to the white population. This is what this is all about right here. And here we go right here with Ashley Simpson and her white daughter. I'm going to call her white because to me, that is a white girl. Yes, she may have a third of black blood in her. This is a white girl, though. I see white. She's going to be entitled to all the privileges that white people can get. She's white. I do not subscribe to nor buy into the one-drop theory. Here's Thandie Newton, who's biracial. Look at the children in which she reproduced right there, particularly the one to the left there. And all the one to the middle has to really do is just bop that hair, get it straightened out. Presto bamo, she's white. But I'm pretty sure that, the level in which they are in, when I say level of financial income, by Thandie Newton being worth like 12 million, I'm pretty sure the people in which they come in contact with mostly are probably going to be white people. So these daughters that she's having are probably more than likely will reproduce with a white male, having white children. Now we can clearly see what this type of agenda is about and why it's being so heavily promoted. And I mentioned the porn in the beginning. I'm going to do another video about that because this is such a layered topic with a lot of, it's like peeling an onion. It can go into a lot of directions. If you're not careful with it, you can confuse more than educate. But porn is being used simplistically. I can say this much. Vast majority of the men who watch porn the vast majority of people who view porn are men. 70% of porn viewership are men. So 70% of black men will view porn. So if you want to promote this agenda among the black race, simply promote interracial porn. They will see white women as sexy, as desirable, as to what they want to achieve visually, and tune into what they're watching. So in this case right here, we can really say that the lower head will be thinking, taking precedent among the upper head. So therefore, they will seek out and will desire white women. So yes, there is an agenda behind that. But see, that's going to be another topic in which I'll get on to explain that deeper. But here we go with Nicole Richie. Nicole Richie was married or is married to Benji Madden. Nicole Richie on her birth certificate, not wait, but wait, on her driver's license when she was arrested, it said black. So maybe on her birth certificate it says black too. Now Nicole Richie to me would be some type of biracial with some black there. However, with her children that she has right here, you can clearly see that black is going to be washed away. It pretty much is washed away. These children are going to end up 90% of reproducing with white people, adding to the white race. This is Halle Berry here. Here she is with her daughter Nala. Nala is majority white. And Gabrielle Arbery, her father, was correct. Nala's not black. I would say that if you're 70% white, you do belong in a white category. So basically, these children, this is her son Mateo, to me, are white children. They're hardly black. So this whole agenda right here, this is an agenda to farther, to preserve, to prolong the white race in America as best they can. What they once looked down upon, frowned upon, interracial unions, biracial children, they're now elevating it. Not because they love black people, not because they want to help black people, not because they want this kumbaya of us all to be together, get together and be one. No, this is about strict preservation of the white race. And so those of you who have said that this is some type of manipulation or some type of an agenda behind it, you're correct about that. There is an agenda behind that. And that is the agenda of preserving the white race. And I want to contrast this with Africa, Europe to Africa. Africa's population doubles every 30 years. African women, you could say black women in the world, are the most successful birthers of all time. Africa births 300,000 babies a week. That is a week in which they're giving birth to African babies. Europe, in turn, is in decline. They are dying faster than what they're being born. Africans are actually reproducing faster than what they are dying. So we can clearly see what is going on right there. And what is going on right there is fear of a black planet. So be astute, be aware, get knowledge as to what is going on right there. And when you start seeing things that were once upon a time looked down upon, all of a sudden being promoted and elevated, and they're popping up everywhere online, note that there is an agenda behind that. And note that that agenda will benefit one group to the detriment of another group. And note that it is not about love, what they're promoting. It is about preservation by any means necessary. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is another edition of Seeing Beyond and Through with Monty, and I will see you all beyond and through.